Hello friends. Overanalyzing is a difficult habit to break. You can even persuade yourself that deliberating about a problem for a very long time is the secret to coming up with the greatest solution. But that's not typically the case. In actuality, the more you ponder something, the less time and energy you have to act in a useful way. Additionally, it can be draining to continually second-guess your choices, consider all the things you could have done better, and imagine the worst-case scenarios. Learn what overthinking is, how to recognize it in yourself, and some of the causes of excessive thinking. Examine the various forms of overthinking, its consequences on relationships and mental health, as well as methods for putting an end to it. Why do people overthink? Overthinking is the practice of thinking about a subject or circumstance repeatedly and in depth. You struggle to get your thoughts to concentrate on anything else when you overthink. The one thing you are thinking about consumes it. Contrary to popular belief, overthinking is not useful because it requires considering a situation from almost all angles and projecting what might happen in the future. According to research, PTSD symptoms, and feelings of melancholy and anxiety are all linked to overthinking. Everybody occasionally overthinks. Maybe you've spent countless hours trying to figure out what to dress to your forthcoming job interview, or you keep thinking about all the things that could go wrong when you deliver your presentation next week. You can take action in your life rather than just thinking about the things that are upsetting you by learning how to stop overthinking. You can begin to take the actions required to remedy the situation rather than continually running over the issue in your head. Symptoms of overthinking. There are a few indicators you may check for if you're unsure whether you're overanalyzing a certain circumstance or worry. Overthinking can show up as a lack of ability to focus on anything else, not being able to unwind, feeling scared or anxious all the time, focusing on issues that are beyond your control, I'm mentally worn out, thinking a lot of bad things, imagine reliving a circumstance or experience, making decisions you later regret, imagining all the worst-case situations. Why people overthink? There are various causes of overthinking. Here are several to think about. Not focusing on solutions. Problem solving is different from overthinking. Overthinking involves ruminating on the issue, whereas problem solving entails seeking a resolution. Imagine an impending storm. Here's an illustration of the distinction between problem solving and overthinking. I hope the storm wouldn't arrive. I thought too much. It will be terrible. I'm hoping the house is unharmed. Why must I always experience these things? This is too much for me. Solving a problem. I'll go outside and gather up everything that might blow away. To stop flooding, I'll place sandbags against the garage door. I'll go to the store to get plywood if it rains a lot so I can board up the windows. Solving problems can result in useful action. On the other side, overthinking causes uncomfortable feelings and doesn't search for answers. Being bothered by repetitive thoughts. Ruminating or continually talking about the same topics isn't productive. But when you overthink something, you could catch yourself mentally reliving a discussion or constantly visualizing negative outcomes. A 2013 study that was published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology found that dwelling on your issues, mistakes, and failures increases your chance of mental health issues. You are more inclined to dwell on your thoughts when your mental health deteriorates. It's a vicious cycle that might be challenging to escape. Your mind won't go away. Overthinking might make you feel as though your mind won't turn off. When you try to go asleep, your brain may even seem to be working overtime as it replays scenarios and makes you envision horrible things happening. Research backs up what you probably already knew. Rumination disrupts sleep. Sleeping is impeded by overthinking. Additionally, overthinking reduces the quality of your sleep. Therefore, it is more difficult to fall asleep deeply when your mind is preoccupied with excessive pondering. Having trouble falling asleep could lead to additional worrying thoughts. For instance, if you don't fall asleep immediately away, you can anticipate being exhausted the next day. You may have anxiety as a result, which could make it much harder for you to fall asleep. Making decisions can be hard. You could try to persuade yourself that thinking more carefully and carefully will benefit you. You are, after all, considering every perspective of the issue. Overthinking and fretting, however, actually serves as a roadblock. A lot of thought makes it difficult to make judgments, according to research. You can be overthinking things if you can't decide on anything, from what to eat for supper to which hotel you should reserve. You're probably wasting a lot of time looking for second opinions and investigating your options when, in the end, those minor decisions might not be that important. Why do people focus on certain things? Decisions are uncertain. When you overthink anything, you may find yourself criticizing your previous choices. You may squander a lot of time believing that if you just had that other job or hadn't launched a business, your life would be better. Perhaps you become angry with yourself for missing the warning signs sooner since you feel they should have been evident. Rehashing and second-guessing are a type of mental anguish, even though some good self-reflection can help you learn from your errors. Your mood may suffer as a result of overthinking, which may also make future decisions extra harder. Overthinking behaviors. There are various forms of overthinking that one can practice. Cognitive distortions, which are unfavorable or erroneous ways of thinking, are responsible for many of these. The all-or-nothing approach. Only seeing things in black and white, this kind of overthinking. You can analyze an event solely in terms of it being a total success or a total failure, rather than considering both the good and the bad. Catastrophizing. Thinking that something is worse than it is an example of this form of overthinking. For instance, you can worry that you'll get bad grades on a test. This causes anxiety about failing the class, which in turn causes anxiety about failing school, not earning a degree, and failing to land a job. You get predisposed to worrying about improbable worst-case possibilities when you overthink things. Overgeneralizing. When you base a rule or expectation for the future on a single or random event from the past, you are overthinking. 5. You can believe that certain events will, always, or, never, occur rather than acknowledging that various outcomes are possible. In this situation, extrapolating one past incident to all future events can result in worrying excessively about potential future events. Effects of thinking too much. While overthinking can cause anxiety, it is not the same as anxiety and is not a sign of a mental disease. However, it frequently contributes to the onset and continuation of a number of mental health disorders. The following conditions have been linked to overthinking. Depression. Disorder of generalized anxiety, GAD. OCD, or obsessive-compulsive disorder. Panic attack. PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. SAD. Social anxiety disorder. There may be a symbiotic relationship between mental health problems and excessive thinking. People who are depressed, anxious, or stressed out may be more prone to overthinking, which in turn makes the stress, worry, or sadness worse. Finding a means to end this loop can frequently help reduce some of these illnesses' symptoms. Relationships might suffer significantly from overthinking as well. Arguments and disputes with other people might result from making the worst-case scenario assumptions and drawing erroneous conclusions. You may be misinterpreting what other people are attempting to say or do if you obsess over every little thing they do or say. Additionally, it can cause behaviors like a persistent desire for validation or an attempt to exert control over others, as well as relationship anxiety. Your relationships with others could be harmed by such behavior. How to quit overanalyzing. According to research, the secret to coming up with better solutions may lie in thinking less about the issue at hand. Here are some strategies for reducing overthinking. Get distracted. You can take a short break from thinking about a problem to divert your attention for a while. When you're focused on something else, such as gardening, your brain might be able to come up with a better answer in the background. You might also sleep on it and find that your brain comes up with a solution while you're asleep. You can take a break with a quick diversion. Additionally, it might help you focus on a more beneficial activity. And if you don't think about the issue anymore, your brain may even come up with a solution for you. Dispute negative ideas. Keep in mind that your thoughts are just that, thoughts. You won't be thinking anything that is practical, accurate, or even true. The propensity to overthink can be lessened by learning how to reinterpret issues in a more constructive manner. When you catch yourself pondering too much, dispute those ideas. Consider whether they are reasonable. Think about other scenarios. Although it can be challenging at first, becoming aware of your own overthinking will help you learn to replace unhelpful thoughts with constructive ones. Enhance your interpersonal abilities. Studies have shown that since interpersonal skills have a significant impact on this particular behavior, developing these skills can help you avoid overthinking. Among the ways to improve interpersonal abilities are increasing your awareness of yourself, increasing your confidence, exercising restraint, meditate. Your thoughts can be favorably redirected by practicing meditation. Work on concentrating on your breath as you ponder. Instead of trying to clear your mind, concentrate on anything and practice refocusing when your thoughts start to stray. After some practice, you'll find it a lot simpler to put a stop to overthinking before it worsens. According to research, meditating for 10 minutes can help you stop worrying and disruptive thoughts. Practice accepting yourself. Overthinking frequently results from ruminating on mistakes from the past or stressing over circumstances you cannot alter. Try working towards being more tolerant and sympathetic of yourself rather than criticizing yourself for actions you might later regret. According to research, those who show such compassion are more likely to employ adaptive coping mechanisms. You can try the following methods to improve your level of self-acceptance. Thinking about your appreciations for yourself and practicing gratitude. Building a strong network of love and support among those who can encourage you. Allow yourself to forget the mistakes you made. Get treatment. If you find it difficult to stop overthinking, think about seeking professional assistance. Overthinking could be a sign of depression or anxiety, for example. On the other hand, it can make you more prone to experiencing mental health issues. You might learn techniques from a mental health expert to assist you quit worrying, ruminating, and focusing on unproductive thoughts. They might also assist you in identifying coping mechanisms that suit you, like mindfulness or exercise. Speak with your doctor if you feel like your brain is working too hard. Your doctor might be able to make a recommendation for a therapist who can assist you in stopping your overthinking. Stop overthinking. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, buddy.